be.
It's good he's answering like this. Oh yeah, answer. Just answer. Expose yourself here.
But there are times when I think this is too much.
We didn't have money to buy a house.
No,
we're not using this money.
It was like an akawo kind of, a lot. Please like and subscribe
Yes.
to this channel.
Right? You have to be. He had that experience with his dad.
Yes.
He made me blush.
Yeah. She had a clot in the lungs, pulmonary embolism.
Hi guys, welcome to another video. Guess what? I have a very important guest with me, and it's no other person than my scarce runaway husband. Yes, I would label him runaway husband, guys, because it has taken me 8 months to get this man to sit down for another video. The last video we did together, you guys were asking more video, but see, here we are 8 months after. And now he's even timing me. He's telling me 30 minutes. That's all he's giving me. Can you imagine? Introduce yourself, please.
Hi guys. It's a pleasure meeting you guys once more. I know the last time I was on the screen was about 8 months ago. That's correct. Things have been going on.
You see, it's guilty conscience, so this is guilty conscience.
It's due to circumstances beyond my control.
Which can beyond your control? If you guys know what I passed through to bribe this man to sit down here, as in 2 weeks ago.
Which bribe? What did you bribe me with?
He now thought about it and now said, okay, baby.
No, what did you bribe me with now?
This Saturday.
No, you say you bribed me. What did you bribe me with?
I've been bribing you. Leave that.
Bribing
Even the
who
ones that
now?
bribe you to fail. Let's just move over to the...
Bribe will not, bribe will not work for me now. You know that one.
Shape by hearing.
Bribe can never work for me. You know I'm not a bribe person. It will never work for me.
He's not that person than Dr. Danladi Awujo. I mean, you guys must have met. If you've not watched the previous video, please, I'm going to link it here for you to watch. So let us proceed to the business of the day. Unfortunately, I think I have misplaced some of those questions, but I still have some of them that were sent via YouTube. And I think I still have some other questions like that some people asked when we did the other video. So I'm just going to pick on those questions and answer them. Well, the first question here is, do you plan to have more kids?
Of course, no.
For a second, I thought you wanted to say, of course, yes.
No. I don't think I want us to go through another journey. It's really been hectic. Prior to our coming to the UK, we had 2 children. And at that point, I made up my mind we're not going to have any other child. However, fast forward, in the UK, Didi wanted more children because she felt if we could give it another try, she could have a girl, because she's been studying this kind of, I don't know what she called it, Chinese calendar or something like that. After so many months of trying to talk to me, I gave in and we tried, and the result is Kyra that you see always grazing the screen. She had a clot in the lungs, pulmonary embolism, and she was on injections for a very long time, up till about 6 weeks after delivery. Yeah, it was really a traumatic experience for her. And based on that, she finally decided to hang her gloves.
Hang her boots.
And said no more.
Anyway, this story is one very interesting story. I feel like I need to sit down. I'll drag Hobby to come and sit down. Let's share this story. From conception till birth, Kyra's birth, is something that I feel like it's the beginning part. Remember how we conceived Kyra, right? Mm-hmm. You remember what happened? You remember? Yeah. I don't want to start going into that in this video. There's a lot of stories to be shared there. But let me know in the comment section if you guys want us to sit down. If you want me to drag him again to come and sit down so that we can.
That would be difficult.
Why are you proving stubborn to us now?
I'm not
like this guy Shakara is too much. You are doing too much. You are doing too much.
Not Shakara, babes.
It's what?
Not, you know my schedule.
Now you get that schedule. Anyway, let me know if you guys want to see that video. Comment below.
For God's sake, this screen is your office.
I know. But once in a while,
the screen is not my office.
I'm inviting you. Once in a while, I invite you as a guest.
That's what I'm saying. I have to look into my calendar.
Yes, please look into your calendar. Yes, please look into your calendar. Thank you. Please even start now to look into it. Thank you. God bless you. Let me know in the comment section if you want to hear that story. I will drag him to come and then we'll share that story with you guys. Very interesting and very traumatic as well.
I hope you guys will say no. So go ahead.
No, he wanted us to stop with 2 kids, and being that you guys, right from my first baby, I've always wanted a baby girl. Not like I don't want baby girls or baby boys, or not like I don't love baby boys or whatever. It was just a preference for me. But as God will have it, man proposes and God does what? God what? And then God just wanted to show me why he's the Alpha and Omega. And I had the first boy, and then I had another second boy, and then the third one. I told myself, since we knew we're gonna, the plan has always been, even though when I married him, he said he wanted 5 children. Do you remember?
Yes.
This man used to think the plan. I said, hey,
It
do
was
you know
a
what I used
joke.
to tell him? I used to tell him, I'll give birth to 3, because me, I wanted 3. I told him, I'll give birth to 3. Then the other 2, you bring that babe, that concubine, to come and help us finish it.
It was all a joke.
Joke. Don't mind him. You are seeing the reality that's turned to joke.
Which reality? But already.
Reality of bringing up 3 children, is it this? And this country.
But you know, for instance, it's not too much stress bringing up kids in Nigeria
in this country
than
that
in this
we are
country.
in. No, Nigeria, you had help now.
That's what I'm saying. Even in Nigeria, with the help, I already said I didn't want more kids.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Okay. You win. Okay. You win. You win. You know, when you get into the game, the reality will just, your eye go clear. You know that, it's like we will stop at 2. This man, from 5 to 2. It was me that now dragged him and said, yeah, because I've gotten your boys, we will get my own girl. And as God will have it, he did it.
Let me tell you guys. Let me tell you guys. See, children can come in between spouses. Understand?
Now
They will spoil your fun. Me, I told myself I can't wait for the children to grow up. So I'll have my life back.
How were you able to buy a house in the UK in such a short time?
I don't understand what you mean. It's a short time, because we came into the UK in 2018. When did we buy the house? I think 20. Well,
it's a short time.
It's a short time anyway. At the time when we came in, we were living in London. We were living in a house that they tagged a 2-bedroom house, but in reality, it was actually 1.5 bedroom. And I was paying about 1,300.
200.
No, 1,250.
Yeah.
1,250 a month for 1.5 bedrooms. The most important thing is having the right networking. Okay, what I mean networking is keeping in touch with the right people that will impact positively in your lives. At a point when we're in London, a family friend visited. At that point, because of my work schedule, I now told Didi that instead of you staying at home, why don't you try to visit and see what his own area looks like? Yeah. If it's a good place, we can move to. So Didi visited Northeast. She fell in love. She fell in love with the region, and at that point, she started talking to me that we needed to relocate, and that was when we swung into action. Within 1 or 3 months, we were able to secure somewhere with the help of this family friend, and we just paid, and that was how we left London. It was a difficult decision, but
I think it was easier for us then because we didn't have kids.
No, the children were not with us yet.
With us then.
Yes. They were still in Nigeria.
I was about to have Kyra. I was 8 months gone.
Yeah, you were 8 months gone, yeah.
Yeah, so I was about to have Kyra. So it was more like, how am I going to give birth to Kyra in London, or am I going to give birth to Kyra down Northeast and all that? I think God just played into the whole thing because we got the house just before I gave birth to Kyra.
Just before she gave birth to Kyra. So it was more like,
when are we moving?
Yeah. So she gave birth to Kyra, then I went down to Nigeria to bring the boys. And as soon as they came...
Within 1 week, they came in.
Within 1 week, they came in, we moved.
So moving to the Northeast kind of made us save money.
Yeah, it really helped.
If you check between paying £1,250 to £750,
that's 500 pounds in rentage.
Yes.
Okay. We also made savings from energy bills, water bills, council tax bills, transportation and all that. Yeah. Everything got down. Cost of living is higher in London.
In London, yeah, generally. Yeah. Basically, it's more about asking yourself, am I okay with this area? Am I fine living? Because I've gotten a lot of people in my DMs telling me, Didi, like, I wish I could leave London, but I can't tell you to leave London. I can't tell you not to leave London because I know it's not easy. It's not an easy decision, especially when you have children. But you ask yourself, what do you stand to gain in the long run? Because sometimes you look at the long-term gain, okay? And you have to sacrifice for it now.
Yeah.
And trust me, when you move, it can be a bit shaky. It's not that easy, especially when you're moving with family.
With family,
but with a good plan in place and, with everything, just plan yourself properly with a good plan in
Yeah.
place. I think you'll definitely be all right. People used to say, oh, there are no jobs outside London, there are no jobs outside London. Make your inquiries. I
Make
can tell
inquiries
you
before
that
you move. Yeah.
this thing is not a general notion. There's some parts of UK, England that has a lot of jobs. Like this, our area, I think it's favoring a lot of doctors or health workers.
Yeah, this area is favoring a lot of doctors and health workers.
workers. But where my sister lives, I think it's more like a general area where a lot of it's not just it's not just medical doctors and health workers.
In Doncaster is just like Manchester, Leicester City, and all
So
that.
it's more like a bigger city than
It's a
where
bigger
we
city
live.
than
So
where we live,
it's more about preferences. Make your choices, ask questions, and take the bold step, because it's not easy to take the bold step. But trust me, you can actually take that bold step for the sake of your future plans. To be honest, when we moved, to be honest, we didn't have plans to buy a house that year.
No.
It was more like, let's just move and see what happens. But at least we needed to leave that expensive town. But when we now came here, it was this same friend of ours that were like, what are you waiting for? Why are you not thinking of buying your own house? Why are you paying another person's mortgage? Do you understand? And then I came back home because I went to visit and then we chatted. So I came back home and then I was telling her, you see, you have to buy a house. He said, buy a house from where? With which money? I remember that discussion. He said, you have come again, because I'm always the one coming with the big guns.
Yeah.
I'm
She's a risk taker.
I'm always the one.
Takes the risk.
Because most times my husband is always playing very safe. This man you see here, he likes to live by the books. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's a very good thing, but at the same time, sometimes you just take yourself out of that comfort zone and challenge yourself. But my husband wants to, baby, this thing, I don't trust. You will scrutinize me. I'll just tell, me, I've jumped, though. You're there. Oh, yeah, be there now. Me, I've jumped. I came with a big gun and I told him, look, we have to. He said, baby, what do you mean? Where is this one coming from? Where is it? I didn't have the plans. I said, baby, we will buy. You know what? I've even seen some houses. He said, so you already saw before you came to me. The next day, we even called a show home. We didn't have money to buy a house.
No.
I was just saying because I felt like we needed to, take that step. But we started viewing houses. We didn't have the budget and all that. And luckily, there was this house. The developers were Bellway Homes. Yeah. So they were just very close to that, our friends. So we just said, let's just go and feed our eyes. Oh boy, when we came to their show, even him, he was convinced. He was like, baby, we have to buy a house.
Buy a house. So what did you do? We said, what will it take to secure a plot here? They said just 500. I said 500. And if in the long run I'm not able to come down with the whole deposit, they say I'll lose my 500 and the house will be sold to someone else.
Yeah.
I said, okay, fine. 500, I'm securing the house. So
we're not sure because it was a new build.
It was a new build.
So that's why we had a little bit of time.
They had a little bit of time. So they said secure 500 in about 6 months. They are going to ask because they were still developing the area. They are going to expect the first installment, the first deposit. We said, 6 months. Let's go and start saving now. So that was how we started. Honestly,
we were like, worst case, we lose the £500.
Worst case, we lose the £500.
So
it was like,
we're not losing this money.
It was like an Akao kind of, lottery. Me,
I came over and told Robbie, see that we are not losing it. We are not losing it. Say, baby, you have come again. Shall put the 500. What else do you want? Do you want my blood? I said, no. So, but we are not losing that £500. For me, it's more about commitment, determination, and just set your mind to it, and you can do it. That's all I can tell you, honestly. Yeah. And we saw ourselves being able to, before that 6 months, we had the money. We had the money. Yeah. That's how we were able to buy. I know that we've not gone into the nitty-gritty of the whole thing, but I believe that this should also inspire you to know that you don't really have to have everything laid on the table for you to be able to say, okay, I'm taking that bold step. So if it's what you really want and you can foresee the future and be like, if I do this and do that and do that, and then you just start. And then start, working towards those plans. That's all I can say. Before this video will turn to house buying video. How do you feel about Didi being a content creator?
Well, how do I feel? I feel excited because I feel she has finally discovered who she is. Yes.
He
Yeah.
makes me blush.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when we were in Nigeria, my parent-in-laws, most of their houses, furnishings, we took, we were in charge
Yeah,
of.
do you know, thinking about it now,
Yeah,
I didn't even
we were in
realize.
charge of doing all the,
In
interior
Uyo,
decor,
in
interior
Uyo.
decor in Uyo, organizing interior decor in Uyo. She didn't know she had this in her until we moved down to this place.
bought
We
her.
were, yeah. She
Anyway,
was.
it started when we were renting, you
Then
remember?
we were too busy with academics. Your master's, PhD, and all that, and all that. Leave your talent. Leave your talent. It doesn't pay in Nigeria. It was when we moved over here that we realized that talent pays, not necessarily academics. Okay, and gradually she started discovering herself. This is what I like, and to be honest, it really makes her happy. It gives her joy, and I'm happy for her. At least it has reduced the amount of work I do in terms of every time, baby, are you okay? It's going to be all right. You're not happy. You're sad.
I used to be really moody.
Moody. But Didi is always on top of things these days, and it gives me joy. So I don't have to be asking, are you all right? Are you depressed? Are you this? Are you this? So she's rather the table has turned. She's the one asking me, "Are you stressed out at work? Why don't you take her out? Okay, I'm going to take you out. I'm going to do this." Just
A
say.
happy wife.
So
makes a
I'm happy for
home.
her. I'm happy for her. She's discovered who she really is.
Yes, and this is who I am. This is what gives me joy. Sitting in front of the camera, and not just sitting in front of the camera, decorating houses, homes, trying to be creative with, decor pieces. This is just me. There is no age limit to discovering yourself. Trust me. Whenever it clicks, you will definitely know that it has clicked. I'm telling you, because the me I used to be in Nigeria, I would never ever dream of who I am right now.
Yeah.
I think I didn't care about what other people would say a lot. What I cared about was what my dad would say. You know? You know.
Yeah. What your dad will say.
What my dad would say, because I
And
feel
by
like
extension, because your dad's family, everyone is like.
no. My
By
dad,
extension.
to be honest, my dad. Because I'm one person that even right now, I don't care what any other person thinks of me. I don't settle for human validation, to be honest. But because of the way I held my dad in high esteem, I still hold him in very high esteem. You know, when your father, the one person you love so much, has his own dream for you, and you now seeing that, feeling like you're not living up to that dream of his, you now feel like you're disappointing him. I think that was just it. If I was still back home, I don't think I would discover myself. I would just be doing something just for the sake of earning a living.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would have
pleasing
done.
people around you.
And just just living my life. But you see, this right here, this here, I think coming to this country has made me discover who really I am. And to be honest, I'm ready to pursue it to the fullest. So keep your eyes glued.
Keep your eyes cleared. She has closed the questions.
What is your perspective on parenting as regards children following a path against their parents' will?
The only constant thing in life is change. I wouldn't want to make the same mistake that my parents made on me. Okay, I've told myself I'm not going to force my children to take a particular career path. I'm going to leave them to make choices of their own. That is what we have decided to do. From time to time, we have talks with our children. We ask them what would we want to be in life, what would we like to do, and all that. Just to have a perspective. But we try not to force anything on them. We encourage them as long as we know it's not going to lead them astray or maybe part of destruction. So we are going to encourage our children whichever career path they want to follow.
We are both, should I use the word victim? I feel like victim is a very deep word, but we have both experienced our parents telling us this is who you have to be. He had that experience with his dad, and I think it's his dad that made him become a medical doctor, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you know what? I think I'm grateful to your dad, because
I wanted to be
he wanted to be
a petrochemical engineer.
An engineer, yeah. But his dad made him read medicine, and I think he's doing good, because, to be honest, some parents who push their children to a certain career and they turn out well, but some, I think it has a detriment to some. Like, some struggle. There's some things he'll say, you just be like, if I'm not doing medicine, then I'm like, I can't even picture you being someone else that is not a medical doctor. Like, I don't even picture you doing any other job that is not medicine, because I feel like he's so good in it. And right from the first time I knew him, he's been breathing medicine, like, you understand? But he's very good with his hands as well. He would have ended up being a very good engineer as well. So I don't know. I don't even know what I don't know what to say here, but I mean, from my own experience and from what he has also experienced, I would also agree with him. I'm not ever going to push my child to do something, maybe because I also feel like some parents that do this, they project their own this thing on their children. You know what they always wanted to be, and they didn't.
Yes.
They end up not being that thing. They want their child to become that thing.
Become that
so
thing.
I don't want to be that parent.
Not asking if
Not
that
asking if
child
that
will
child
be
is happy
capable
or
of doing that, or if they are going to be happy in the
doing
long
that
run.
job. Yes, because I also think that this life is too short for us to spend the rest of our lives doing a job we don't feel happy about.
Yes.
You shouldn't be miserable when you're working because it's a lifelong
Yes.
thing. Do you understand?
It comes to a point, if you're in a job or in a career that you're not happy with, it comes to a point you become fed up and say, I'm done, I'm leaving. And that is it. That's why a lot of people kind of struggle in one job or the other, or they keep, falling out of jobs,
That due to lack of job satisfaction or
Yes.
such a thing. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that for my children, and I'm happy we share the same view. Yep. How do you feel whenever Didi pulls out the camera? Are there times it has really upset you? I'd like to know.
Well, I would say mixed feelings. Okay. Sometimes I just feel indifferent about it. I let her do because, well, that's her office. That's what makes her happy. So I let it be. But there are times when I think this is too much. No, baby. No. I think it's too much. No. No, you're going to stop this. I need 1 hour of your full attention. Listen to me. This is what we're going to do. Sometimes when I try to draw her attention to something and I notice that she wasn't even paying attention. Oh God. She's busy talking to the camera and I will say something. Baby, do you hear me? No one is listening to me. Did you hear me? No one is Did you hear me? Oh, what did you say? Oh God.
Let me even help you.
Camera.
Sure, you want to finish me. Let me help him finish me. Even before we sat down to film this video, I needed to set up the background for the video, and he was on the long sofa behind us, and I told him, baby, you have to stand up. I need to set up this place. Say, oh my goodness. I get it, because most of my content are home content, and I try not to inconvenience them, to be honest. If you check my videos on YouTube and all that, on Instagram too, they're mostly film as you go. But those ones that are really intentional videos I need to create, maybe like styling videos and all that, I just don't want that distraction. I mean, it's part of the job. What else do you do for self-care?
Self-care.
It's good he's answering like this. This man does not even know what self-care is. Oh yeah, answer. Just answer. What? Expose yourself here. What does you do for self-care? Because I'm interested. You know, I've asked you this question before.
Self-care. Honestly, I hardly think about that except when it comes to holidays.
How many times in a year?
Or no, if it's about how many times in a year? Holidays. Okay. Every meet and break. At least we go on holidays.
That is not
with
self-care.
The children. Then we have summer and all that. Self-care is like
yourself. What do you do for yourself to just chill, that unwind and relax? And
if I want to unwind and relax, I always have bottle of wines in the fridge and all that, and I can just use it, relax over a movie and all that. I'm fine.
That's all my husband does. All my husband does that's the only please, people should drop some ideas of self-care that this man can do.
I have a collection of perfume that make me happy.
His obsession. Spraying different perfume is now self-care. Please, I see it's good. Whoever asks this question, God bless you. You see this thing here? I've been asking. Look at
so what do you want me to do?
That's why I said.
You want me to go to a spa and put my leg and all that and start making Is that what you mean as self-care?
No, there's so many ways.
Wait now, or maybe taking an evening on a Friday night, I go to somewhere and lodge and chill and all that.
I mean, you can do that.
Is that
you
self-care?
Can do that. Yes.
Why can't I do that in my home, in my own home?
Where Kara will be saying, yeah, dad.
If I tell you now that I'm traveling for a weekend just to go and cruise off,
We'll find out the location first.
have you seen?
No,
Have
wait.
you seen?
Wait,
Mine,
but you
I
know
like,
me,
why will
I
you be
don't have
going
all
alone?
this time. I don't have all this time. Once we discover the
Thank
location,
you.
I don't have to bother myself about any other thing. We just need to make sure that the location is clear, free, and
Can you see?
ready for him to
Niger
move.
woman. So my self-care is in the house, movie nights, you know, over a bottle of wine.
He likes wine
cool
too
off,
much. He likes
you know.
wine. This man and wine. Weekends, catch him.
Yeah.
He's one. In fact, I
Yes.
think his self-care
And
is he
some
one bottle
delicacies,
of wine.
local, you know, some local delicacies that I miss down in Nigeria. Suya, isiewu, nkwobi, abacha, African salad. You know, those kind
African
of things.
man.
I try to prepare them and, you know, enjoy them.
But if I think about it now, when we're in Nigeria, your self-care used to be like you used to enjoy visiting all those joints where they eat all those local things.
Exactly.
Yes, that used to be. But since we came to this country, I mean, we don't have that here, except some African restaurants, which I don't think they really meet up that standard.
No, they don't meet up the standard. I prefer to prepare them myself.
Yeah, so we go manage them like that. Do we have any choice? What is your opinion about men allowing their wives to follow their passion?
I allow you to follow your passion, don't I?
Of course, to the fullest.
So,
in fact, very supportive. In fact,
that's
award of the most supportive husband goes to him.
That says it all. Allow your wife to follow her passion.
Yeah.
If your wife is happy, you're going to have a happy home.
Yes.
If your wife is miserable, you're going to have a miserable home. Yeah. So if her passion makes her happy, allow her to follow her passion. And you know, when your wife is happy, you have it all. Yeah.
True.
You have it all.
Some men are afraid of their wives following their passion because they feel like when the wife, you know, gets to that top and, you know, succeeds, she's going to start feeling on top of the world.
Yes,
and
that is
all
where
that.
trust comes in. That's where trust comes in. Do you trust your wife?
But,
do you
but
know?
is
do
it,
you
is
know?
it, I mean,
Yeah.
the way I see it,
Men that are scared of, you know, are scared of what you just said, allowing their wives to follow their passion if they're on top of that. These are men that don't trust their wives.
and why marry a woman you can't trust?
You know,
Because it's almost like
I think it's this African mentality.
exactly
this
because it's not.
African
I
mentality
think
stuff.
you see with those men, no matter who they marry, they will never trust that woman. That's where I see it because it could be that woman has potentials. I don't want to bottle her up. You understand?
Most times, this is something that has been imbibed in the
As
mind
children,
of the man
yes,
from children.
yes.
Something from the family.
Yes.
Family background has a big role to play. Even in the
Yes.
family, they will say, "Don't allow women to succeed over you."
Yes, they will not start
A
earning more
woman should
than
be
you.
under you.
Yeah,
You know,
and
don't
if she
allow a
starts
woman to earn more than you and all
yeah.
that. So it's kind of family upbringing, the mentality they've had
Yeah.
while growing up is difficult to drop as, you know, when
An
you're
adult.
old as an adult. If you're that kind of man that believes in his wife, that believes that there's love in sharing, that both of you can work together, you know,
As a team.
as a team, it's partnership. And honestly, the sky is
It's your starting point.
is just your starting point.
It's a starting point.
As a couple.
Yeah.
There's
Power
n-
couple. We call
there's
them power
nothing-
couple.
There is nothing both of you cannot achieve.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yeah, with one mindset. Your goals align, your personalities align, and every other thing, financial aspect of everything. You come together, you plan, you know, plan for the future together. I mean, see, between me and this man, the reason why we have gotten to this stage is because we rub minds. We have misunderstandings. So, in fact, when we are rubbing those minds, we always clash. But at the end of the day, I find out that we always clash, disagree to agree. And it's expected because we're not siblings. Even my siblings, we still clash. So it's expected, but how do you handle it? That's what matters.
Yeah.
How do you handle it? Do you have the same goal? Do you have the same plans for your future, your family, and everything? You need to make sure that your goals align as a couple. Do you think it's okay for a man to tell his wife how much he earns?
I think that's the right thing to do. Okay? Tell your wife how much you earn. However, it depends on the kind of wife you have. All right? If your wife is trustworthy, your wife is humble, your wife is homely, your wife is, you know, someone that, you know, is very reasonable, okay? I see no reason why you should not let her know what you're earning. If something happens tomorrow and you're incapacitated, or you're not available for some time, you are sure wherever you are that your wife is handling things just the way you would have wanted them to be handled. It's very deep. It depends on which angle you're looking at it from. That's my own take.
I think I've talked about this in one of my episodes of Real Life with Didi. There was a story I shared, and I would say again, I will stand by ground. If both of you cannot tell each other how much you're earning, I don't understand how you're going to run your home. I remember when I was in Nigeria, sometimes he would just show me his account and I would be like, don't show me. At some point, I even started telling him, don't show me. The reason I was telling him, don't show me, is because that thing used to put me in check. You know, when you want to make a demand, you want to say, oh, baby, I want this, I want that. Me, just thinking about how much he showed me in his account, I wouldn't even be able to open my mouth and ask. So that's how considerate I can be. So at some point, I felt like it was beginning to get to me, and then I'll be like, don't show, I don't want to see, because I felt I needed that freedom to be able to ask sometimes if I want something. So, I mean, that is the way I see it. That's what I think. Especially for a woman, if your wife is not working, you need to be transparent, because you don't want to be in a situation where your wife would think you're hoarding money.
Exactly.
You're sending money to one of your girlfriends, or you're using money for something else. But like he said, I think this is another angle from what he has said. If you married an unreasonable wife, I don't see how this would work. I don't, honestly, I don't. So it depends on the family involved anyway, the family units and how you run your home. But make sure that you are not keeping this information from a reasonable woman. Make sure even you as a woman, you're not keeping this information from your husband, because I think that is how you people can achieve a lot of things together. You must be transparent. Transparency is one of the things that keeps a family going, okay? So that is it for this one. I think this is the last question for this video. Do you have anything to say?
No. Okay. And talking about transparent and all that, it's not only coming to money. You know, money is a very sensitive thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So this transparency goes way beyond money. It starts from during courtship, when you're knowing your wife and all that. Have you been transparent to each other? If right from the time you've been courting your wife, you were beginning to know your wife and you've not been open to her, it will be very difficult for you to open up with the amount of money you earn. Yeah.
All right. So this is where we're going to come to the end of this video, guys, because we have another video to film after this. Let me know what you think in the comment section. He'll be reading your comments. I'll be reading your comments. Let me know if you guys want him back again on this channel, because I want him back again on this channel. He keeps me talking, and he brings out the best of me when I'm doing a sit-down video. So yeah, thank you so much for
You're welcome.
gracing my channel and gracing Didi Stripe. Up Didi Stripe, let's hail them. Didi Stripe. Anyway, baby, do you want to tell them to subscribe and like and subscribe?
Please like and subscribe.
Yes.
To this channel. Right?
Okay, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to your friends who might need this for inspiration. Yeah. And I'll see you guys in our next video. Stay fabulous. Bye. Bye.
What will I end this job?
Are you not okay now that you just sat down?
Please, no, we happen again for the next 6 months. Okay.
Do you know I'm still filming, because this I'm not going to cut off this part.
No, it's going to happen again for the next 6 months.
What do you mean?
Baby, may know my cup is filled.
Oh, if cup is filled. Are you this thing? What is filled?
Yeah, till August.